to the Circle of Love and Light. I'm your host, Jane Mountrose, and I'm so pleased today to have both of my beautiful co-hosts with me, Gretchen Cromer and Loola Mora. We're all healers and spiritual teachers and have a wonderful topic for you today. Our topic is awakening to your role in the divine plan. It's interesting because the divine plan, for me, it's something that has been in my mind for many, many years. Like everything is in divine order, everything's going according to the divine plan, and without really questioning even exactly what that means. I think I've always had a sense of it, an overall sense, but just specifically, what is it? And I think right now, with what I'm calling now the Great Awakening, some people call it the Ascension, the New Age, whatever you want to call it, we are being called to become more precise in all of these areas. And I think understanding the divine plan is part of it. So I'm very excited to see where this is going to take us today. We will also be doing a special meditation, and it's for healing and opening more to the divine plan in your life. Somehow, let me see, I got removed from our chat box over here. Okay, and I see Barbara Clark is here. Hi, Barbara. Babs. Before we begin, as usual, I want to thank you for joining us. Being here or wherever you are as a source of love and light, to me, is the best of all possibilities. It's the most important thing you can do. And of course, if we can if we can share the word and get it out to more people, then we're intensifying and actually amplifying our message even more. So it's an opportunity for everybody. So we're here every week at this time to light up our lives, to heal, to grow, and stand as beacons of light for the world. Also, if you're joining us from anywhere, wherever you are, we have the circle is live in a few places. Please say hi and tell us where you're from. Feel free to comment. We'd love to hear from you. You're part of this as much as we are, in my mind, and I think for all of us. So one more thing, actually there are a couple more things. One more thing is I want to just take a moment for us to settle into being together here. It's so simple just to, if you can close your eyes, if you're in a safe place to close your eyes, just to breathe. And we can invite all the beings of light who are here to support us, which is many, many, many. I think multitudes. Invite them to shower us with love and light. And as we breathe in, we can breathe in that love into our hearts. And just open to the magic that's here for us today. Before I invite Loola and Gretchen to share, I want to take 1 minute just to define the divine and divine order, according to what I saw on the internet. And so we are kind of coming from the same place. And if one of you disagree, that's fine too. You can share your insights too. So the divine, it says, is from or like God and the celestial kingdom. That's divine. A divine order, then, from me, my definition, is the love of God as it is expressed through each of us, through our uniqueness and expressed out into our daily lives. So that's divine order. And it's really establishing that connection with the light and love of God, which is unencumbered by the illusions that we generally suffer from here on the physical plane, and opening to why we're really here. So just with that as a starting place, Gretchen, would you like to share a little bit about your perceptions?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jane. I was actually thinking about this morning quite a bit, and as a continuation from last week's Circle of Love and Light. And I think one of the important things for me is that we need to find divinity within us. You know, when we're not going to find it through external sources as much as we're going to find divinity within us. So it's always a good place to start is to just recognize that we are all divine, magnificent beings, and that we each have that divinity connection, and we are a part of divinity as well. So we are essentially by nature part of the divine order. You know, we're part of that divine plan. And so it's important to kind of continually reconnect. You know, we're so human in so many ways that we forget sometimes that we have this beautiful divine part of us that is essential, you know, and that we need to continually make reconnection with it so that we can live according to that divine order, to the divine plan. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Loola, what would you like to share first?
Okay, for me, divine order is that source, you know, is the source of everything. Is creation, is that life force, actually. And from that source is where everything comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So, as Gretchen was mentioning and saying, is having that in mind, you know, and not only in mind, in my heart, because it's something that I can feel.
Yeah, you feel it. Yeah.
You feel it. And when I start asking myself, like, I think there's something bigger than myself, you know, and then that was the moment that I started like seeing not outside myself, but believing that there was something bigger and that source of creation. And for me, it was a little bit like challenging because I was like having some doubts about the religion I was practicing at that age. And for me, it was easier to say like that force was the universe and not using the word God, because helped me like to put things like more in order for me. And having that in mind, that is that source, you know, and feeling it, because actually only having that clear gave me a lot of faith and strength. And then I started feeling and believing that from that source, everything was coming and that I'm part of it. So I have exactly the same recipe in a way, you know, I'm made from the same things. And then I start feeling about light. And when I say divine and light, I feel love. So everything comes together. It's that source of light and love. For me, that's the divine order. And having that feeling and like belong, you know, like having that belonging, like feeling, I can tell that I'm here because I have a mission or something like that, and I'm part of that like big plan. So that's like how I can like share with you, for me, what divine order means.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And it is really when we're in this place, when we're connected with love and light, when we can feel that kind of truth of our spiritual nature in our hearts, that then divine order, in a way, you almost don't have to define it. I'm just in a place right now where I'm finding I'm being really, I think, guided to connect more with the precision of what's happening. But it is there within it also, there is a simplicity. I think that's what you were saying too. It's just like everything is clear. And it's so important, I think, in the way that we conduct our lives, because if we can understand that everything truly is in divine order, whether it's what we want or not that's happening to us, it is actually happening for us to bring us closer to the divine, to bring us closer to whatever our plan is, whatever our soul plan for this life. And if we can see all of our experiences and situations that way, it is divine. And we can start looking at positive in them. So I see more wonderful people joining us. Rosalind, good vibes. Thank you for joining us. And Lisa Bantu, I hope I pronounced it properly. She says, hello, wonderful goddesses. I love that. Yeah, we're going to connect a little bit with that energy to the divine feminine today, because also it is within the more feminine realms that we can appreciate divine order. This and this head of ours probably won't ever quite get it, but it's not supposed to. The truth, the higher truth, comes to us through our hearts. So, no, it is actually, it actually is empowering. You know, I also think you think of divine, you might think of divine order as being restrictive. It's not, it's empowering us to fully be who we are.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like there have been times in my life where I have been, very low at my lowest point. And if I can reconnect with that beautiful, divine feminine energy, it reminds me, oh yeah, I have that in me too. Oh yeah, I am part of the divine. And there's something that kind of brings me back into the whole. There's like this part that kind of strays away, and then I just, gently bring it back to the whole. It's all about, just reconnecting with that. And I think to me, it's something of, that I'm not just this human having a human experience, but I'm actually having a divine human experience, and that it's a gift. It's a gift to be a human, to have this experience in this earthly body is an incredible gift. And so as I, get older, I'm trying to kind of bring that into my daily world every day, just reminding myself that, you're not just human, and none of us are just human. We are part of the divine. And that, the divine feminine with this beautiful receptive energy that is, she can be a warrior, but she can also be a very soft, gentle energy. And so I think combined, the warrior with the soft, gentle energy is a pretty potent combination. So, and can help us quite a bit in our life. So
yeah. I want to welcome Edna Merced. Also, welcome. It's wonderful to see you too. All I see is a little icon, but I can feel all of the love from all of you, and we just appreciate it so much. I want to take this a little further too. I think this is another one. For years I think many of us have been talking about the idea of bringing spirit fully into form. It's like, and that has always been for Awakenings Institute, for what we do, it's always been about living it here, which I think we've already talked a little bit about that. But when you think about that, then you think, well, what does that mean exactly? What does that mean, bringing spirit fully into form? And this is what I think I'm being told by Metatron is my main guide, and other guides that I have in the higher dimensions, that we have connections to what I think I want to call it our universal self. The soul, and I've always felt this too, the soul exists at different levels. The soul exists within our body, and then it exists at higher levels, all the way up to, there's an ascended master up there somewhere. And I want to call it the universal self, so that we can take a little bit of the charge, like, oh, I'm not an ascended master. To remove that charge and recognize we are masters. And it's always been kind of amazing to me when I connect with ascended masters or the archangels. They honor me like I'm an equal. And it's not usual for me to perceive myself that way, but that master is there. And now I feel that we are here to connect with our universal self, to be able to connect with the highest height of who we are in our connectedness with God and bring that into form. And I see that as the goal for the Great Awakening, that masters are walking the earth, and our more and more masters are going to be walking the earth. And that is, I think that is the divine plan for the ascension.
Yeah.
Considered it that way. So I never my
You're
ascended master
a little
on any level. So
you were kind of fading out a little bit. Hopefully, so can you repeat that, because I think we missed part of it. See if we can get it. Doesn't quite seem to be coming through right now. We'll just wait a couple minutes for that. Loola, did you have something you wanted to share?
Yes, actually, I love what you said. You know, is actually I was listening to it and I can feel that vibration, you know, of being a master. You know, as you mentioned, for me sometimes is challenging, or I don't feel that way. So that's my need to connect and not forget that part of myself, in that human existence. So what I want to say is that right now I can tap to those abilities easier, because I really committed with my journey. So I think as part of the plan, as I have healed, I'm being more able to connect easier and to be in that place of love and light, and put in service what I have to give here and now. You know, feeling that I'm part of that plan. Right. And believing that I have something to bring. And it's like all of us are here because we have beautiful things to share and bring. And when you feel that you are part of that plan and that you are a master, you are not only opening yourself to be in service, but allowing yourself to learn. You know, that's something that happened in my experience. Younger, maybe I felt that a master was someone that is not learning, or that is in a higher level, so is in a better place or something like that. But no, exactly, that doesn't mean that you are not learning anymore. It's actually that you are putting in practice what you are learning, and that's what gives us that title of masters. And that's what we are here for, you know, is to bring on earth that, to experience, you know, and manifest that love and light of what we are. And for sure there's a darkness, or a dark place, but that doesn't mean that is evil or something like that. Is the absence of light.
Right.
So we are here.
It's just misunderstanding. Right. This is all a big misunderstanding, which is a kind of a funny way to look at it. I guess it lightens it up too. It's kind of like, this is an illusion here, that we're limited. And I think that's such an important point too, Loola, that it really is, we're opening to our role in the divine plan when we open to whatever it is that we can perceive, the highest level of the self that we can perceive, and bring what we're learning from there here. And that's really essentially the whole thing. What I've been shown that is, it's been hard. This is, I think, the first time I've actually talked about it publicly, that we can go all the way up to that place of mastery, which, and this all happened to me going into the Akashic records. It's like, I wasn't expecting any of this. It was actually, Metatron is oversees the Akashic records. And when I started connecting with Metatron, then I thought, well, gee, that sounds like a good thing to do. And it's been a journey, a real journey. And it also, it follows up. I think, Loola, you were talking about facing the idea of God and having a connection with God. And that, for me, there was a time, and this has been many years ago, actually, that it happened. It's another thing I don't talk about an awful lot, but when I connected with my guidance, it was changing, and it changed to a place where I heard this voice, and I said, well, who are you? And the voice said, God. And that was very hard for me to accept. And I think for all of us, it is hard to understand that is not something that is unavailable to us. I think it is part of the illusion that causes us to not feel that we're worthy or that this is possible for us, because it is. In a way, it's our highest birthright, is to connect with the fullness of who we are in whatever way we can, and not to feel like we have to make excuses for it. It's kind of like, well, I don't really mean it. It's us. It's everyone. And this is the other thing. It's not a competition. It's every one of us. So, Gretchen, it looks like you're back. Did you want to share?
Yeah, I actually, what Loola said was very similar to what I was saying. And I also feel that for us as humans, it's like we're in a time of great remembering. Right. We are remembering that we are divine. We are remembering that we are light and love. And because of our human experience, because of our free will and our opportunities and choices, it's up to us how we reconnect with that, how we remember. But I think that's part of that awakening energy, is that we are remembering, and that's so important, I feel like, for humanity in general, that we wake up and remember, that we are part of the divine. And so I think it's lovely what you say, because it reminds us that the connection with God or with divinity is a two-way street. And we may not be taught that as children. We might be taught that you can speak to God, but God does not speak to you. And I have found in my experience that's not necessarily true, that it is a two-way street, and that because we are part of God, that we have that connection. We are able to talk to God and have conversations. So to me, it really is about that remembering, just reminding ourselves, and that that energy of remembering is to bring us back to our heart center, to bring us back to the place where love is generated through the universe, through us, and we become conduits. We become channels of that love. Right.
Yeah. And the more we can do that, the more it intensifies, meaning that we're more, each of us individually is a more powerful illuminator, you could say, or broadcaster of that light. And in a practical sense, that's what it's all about too. And there are different ways of looking at it. You could say it's bringing in that universal self. It can be, it's the same thing as intensifying the light that you're able to broadcast to the planet and to everyone, to the people you love. Yeah, it's really an amazing time. It's an opportunity for all of us to empower ourselves and rise above that illusion that we're somehow trapped in this place of being limited, when actually the invitation is out there. If you any connection you make with the angels or whatever, they'll all tell you the same thing, essentially. That we're divine.
And within that is all possibility. That's what's so beautiful about it. It's to me, the divine order is about giving us that free will and the opportunity to have many opportunities, many possibilities. And again, we just need to remember that, that we have that available to us.
Right. Yeah. I was this morning. When I got up and I was thinking about the circle. I was thinking, well, gee, I don't know what I want to do for the meditation, and so I thought, well, I'll draw a card or an oracle card. And this is another, I think, really great tool for opening and expanding your awareness in a lot of ways. So I went through a whole kind of list of possibilities of where I could get the card. And I ended up with one of my favorites, which is the Angel Wisdom Tarot. And I have a system drawing from where I draw from the major arcana and then the minor arcana. And the card I got from the major arcana, this is the one, it's card number 21, the World, which is the final card in the major arcana, which is the major arcana is like the soul's journey. So it is the culmination, not of the, I don't actually see the journey as ending, but the culmination of a phase, you could say, which then leads back to the beginning and going through another phase of it. But I thought it was beautiful because I felt that what it was about was the nature of divine order. And it said of connecting with divine order and playing our part in divine order, a brilliant success, a time of joyful accomplishment and spiritual enlightenment, freedom to do whatever you want. It says, be proud of yourself. I thought that was so beautiful. And even that, it took me a couple minutes to think, well, gee, I'm not sure that we're there yet. But what this is it's being on that path is a success. And being open to the potential that is here for us is a tremendous opportunity to accomplish enlightenment. So I thought that was really beautiful. And it is, again, it described it as freedom. It's an opening. I think in a way the path narrows. We have to be, and I feel a place of purity, of pure intent to fully connect with our divinity. But then on a soul level, everything is opening up for us. I want to say hi to Sharon Williamson, who joined us, one of our wonderful friends. So there's just so much here. Any other thoughts? I can start actually going into the meditation, or we could have a little more sharing, whatever you want.
Yes, as I just want to share that actually about the free will and that we have a choice, and that word of freedom that you mentioned to Jane is sometimes helps me to see things as a game, like there are different levels and we are able to live experiences, and like to find how to go with them and not take it so seriously, because sometimes I take things so seriously. So if I see it as a game, it's like, okay, I have possibilities, I have different options. I will choose this and I will see that that's the part of experiencing it, like, okay,
right.
If I choose this, let's see what happened, instead of feeling like, okay, I need to take the best decision ever because I don't know, my family is spent like in the middle of the decision or something like that, and allowing myself to experience and seeing, like when you are playing a video game, like, okay, what happened if I take the star, or what if I go this way, or more like with joy, and enjoying in that and feeling that I'm here, and that's part of the plan or of the game. So I don't feel like so restrained and so serious about taking the decisions, because there's the free will is a choice, and the only way to live, to have the experience, living it, so
Mm-hmm.
that's the only
Right,
way.
right.
So I
Yeah, we
take a
make our
lot of
choices
weight out.
and things happen. And that's where
Exactly.
life is happening for us. If we don't ever start because we're so afraid of making the wrong decision, then we're really preventing ourselves from learning and growing.
Exactly.
And I think I often think of and I'm not not a very good biblical scholar. I'm not a biblical scholar at all, actually. But there are some things from the Bible that really resonate with me. And there's that idea of going to heaven like a child. If we can open to the childlike wonder. And I think that's what you were suggesting too. Be joyful, play with it. Don't take it too seriously. It's actually, if you take it seriously, I think it's really, your energy declines rather than goes up. So if we can be light with it, and with ourselves.
Actually, that way allows me to expand. But when I take things seriously, I get fear. So I go down, like my vibration goes like down.
Right.
So for me, I was wanting to mention it because sometimes we are like we complicate things. Or I'm going to talk about myself. I complicate things. I'm going to take responsibility and I'm going to take it for myself. I complicate things. So that helped me, seeing things as a game. I'm here. That's part of it, of the plan for me to experience and to choose. And if I'm not okay with that, then I will have another opportunity to do it in a different way and change the way of doing it better for doing it another way and experience it and then have information about it instead of thinking and wanting to plan it, because that's my lesson right now. It's like, don't plan. You don't have the control of anything.
Exactly. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to enjoy this and play my life.
Right.
My life.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean, I think you were suggesting too, you can experience it and then evaluate it rather than evaluating ahead of time. I know in doing healing and coaching sessions, often people will be coming in, they're looking for the perfect plan. It's kind of like, well, I want to do this. I want to, whatever it is I want to do. And I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. Well, you're never going to get the perfect plan. And it's not like you just run around doing things completely willy-nilly, but I think you do the best you can and then move forward and see what happens. I also realize now, looking back, Philip and I, my husband, we've been doing this work, coaching, healing, training, for all of this for more than 3 decades now. And in the beginning, it seemed like it was so slow. Like things just weren't happening as fast as we wanted. And of course, that's part of, I think, being on Earth too, is that we want everything to happen immediately. But looking back, I realized a few things. One thing is we didn't know what we didn't know. We had things we had to learn. And timing is such a factor. We don't know what the timing is in the divine plan. If we can just open to be there for it, we have to be there for it, whatever it is, then we're in the right place and we can be in the right place at the right time, which happens. It has happened to us numerous times over the years where completely unexpected things just changed everything for us. And you want to be there for it, because that's where the magic is. So it is time now for the meditation. And I want to also mention part of the Angel Wisdom Tarot. One of the things I love about it is with every card comes, or every card in the major arcana comes an archangel. So I thought, well, this will be the archangel that I will build the meditation on. And the archangel here is Jophiel, which is interesting. Jophiel is a feminine energy, and my main awareness of her is that her focus is on finding the beauty within and really appreciating the beauty within us. also, I just want to briefly mention with the archangels, I've been exploring them pretty much daily and connecting with them and just having such beautiful, beautiful experiences. The way that I'm seeing it now, each of the archangels has a maybe I kind of have defined 3 roles and there may be more, and it's not, these are not details. There's more than one thing that they can help us with, but it's like they have a role that is, I think at the highest level, it's universal. And then there's kind of like more of the mainstream or more common role that they would play. And then they also seem to have roles that are just purely physical level things. Like Metatron, he can help you to with time warps. Like if you're late for something, he can help you for everything to go into divine order, you might say, so that it all works out perfectly. And he also is one of the main archangels connected with the New Age, with the Great Awakening. So there's like this range of things they do. Archangel Michael, he is another one who is associated with the ascension and with awakening, and is like a guardian angel to many, many people. I think we're, in a way, we upgrade our need, our guardian angel needs as we evolve and our vibration goes up. We need something that's a really high energy to be able to move us forward even further. And Archangel Michael serves that role for many people in humanity. He also is very good with technical problems, just on a purely physical level. Like one time, a story I tell, I should make this really brief because we're doing the meditation. I was in a store and they couldn't get the credit card system to work. So this went on for about 5 minutes and I was just standing there, trying to be in the moment. And then I thought, well, I'll ask Archangel Michael if he can help. This is getting to be pretty lengthy. So I asked Archangel Michael if he could help. And within 30 seconds, the system was working. I thought, wow, thank you. So nice of you. Uh-oh, looks like she's back.
She's back.
She's gone. She's back. Anyhow, so I'm going to really we're going to focus a lot on Jophiel here today. And I think on a universal level, she oversees helping humanity connect with our higher self to that fullness of who we are, and appreciate our beauty at that level. One of the things I read is that she oversees the expanding of the crown chakra in humanity to enable all of us to connect with our higher selves. And she works specifically with leaders and people of influence and power so that they can help to bring their highest good to humanity. So I thought, and to me, that's return humanity to divine order to fulfill our roles in the divine plan. So I thought that was really a wonderful, I wouldn't have thought of her for today before that, but I'm very pleased. So with that, I'm going to start. We're going to connect with a few different angels, as often happens, just for opening, and then Jophiel is going to be the primary one. So we can start closing your eyes if you're in a safe place for doing so. And again, inviting all of those beautiful divine beings who are with us, with so many people now coming in and joining over time and space. Our collective energy is beautiful. Just breathing in that love and light. And asking any energy that is not your own to leave your space. I think this is really helpful in any meditation because you want just to have your energy. And then similarly asking any energy that you've left elsewhere to return to you. so you can feel more whole and complete in the moment here. And breathe, just the beauty of the breath all through the body. And then I want to invite first Archangel Metatron. He's the angel who is said to be closest to God. And I experience him, many people do, as a beautiful, luminous, maybe diamond, shiny white light. So we can ask him to join you if you're open, and just feel that luminous white energy all around you and the beautiful love. So all of them are sharing the Creator's love, aspects of the Creator's love, of God's love. And with that, we can just open to that all around us, expanding out, allowing your energy field to expand. We contract ourselves so much. This is a time to just be open to the fullness of who you are. And we can also invite that light into the body. The cells love love. They love light. They thrive on light. The body thrives on light. And I always like sparkles in it, because I think the sparkles really intensify it. So when I imagine sparkles in the light and going into all the cells, I start to I can feel it in my body. And just appreciate this moment of being together in a loving space. And thinking of divine order, I also want to I want to thank Archangel Metatron. I forget sometimes to thank them. I want to be sure to thank each one individually, although he will be also staying with us. I next want to invite Archangel Michael to join us, because he is also one of the leaders into the new age, as I mentioned. And Michael has a very strong vibration of love, generally understood as our protector. And he is wonderful to have around, just to invite him to be with you, to protect you and keep you safe. His energy is often experienced as an electric blue light. We can invite that in and invite him. You might see him, you might feel him, you might hear a message from him. To me, he is saying welcome to all of us and blessing us and thanking us for being present to him. So he's wonderful for strength, for opening us to the power of ourselves, of our souls. And just feeling that strength within us. Again, inviting that beautiful electric blue light all around us and within us, if that feels safe to you. Into all the cells, empowering all the cells to blossom fully. Somehow I'm sensing to invite that light into the brain. I feel like we can elevate the brain somewhat to open more to the divine, to come into, you could say, sync or harmony, a sense of connectedness with that bigger picture. And I want to thank him for being with us now and always, as I invite Archangel Jophiel to join us. And Jophiel, some experience as a male energy, some as a female. That none of them actually are either one, but they all are a perfect balance of the masculine and feminine energies. But Jophiel also is often experienced as a feminine energy, which is what I'm getting for us now. Beautiful feminine energy for opening to the beauty within. And she's also often experienced as showering us with beautiful red rose petals and a fuchsia pink energy. Just beautiful, beautiful. You could say the most beautiful pink you can imagine for you right now. Looking beyond the superficial evaluations we have so often of ourselves into the depth of the beauty of who we are as really divine souls. And opening to that within you to allow that the highest aspect of your nature to flow through you now. With Jophiel's support, she can also help to release any fears or doubts of yourself that are connected with this. So you can allow any of those just to drift down through your body into the earth to be neutralized and transformed back into light. And I just see within all of us here, beautiful, beautiful divine souls. Just feel that inner beauty, that inner wisdom. And when we open to this divine feminine, to the appreciating the beauty within ourselves, it's a blessing to all of us, males and females, and also a blessing to the whole world, which can obviously benefit from an outpouring of these divinely fragrant rose petals and light from Jophiel. You might feel it in your heart. And if there is pain in your heart related to who you are, it's just there's a block there that needs to be released. And she may be able to help you now or sometime in the meditation alone if you want. But you just feel within your heart the beauty of who you are. The heart knows when we doubt ourselves. Going to the heart and asking for the truth is such a great transformation, I think it can be, of who we perceive ourselves to be. You might want to take a moment now to ask in your heart the truth of who you are. And it's clear that all of us are divine. Our little buddy's joining us. Thank you, bud. And there's one more I want to also again thank Jophiel and invite into the Ascended Master, Lady Nada, who also she's very similar to me in energy to Jophiel, and she's all about divine love. You can invite Lady Nada to support you in opening to divine love and to healing with love. Love is the greatest healer. Love is the absence of separation. It's absence of the illusion. And within her, I think I sense also a beautiful example of the purity of the human spirit. We can reach the highest heights of our true divine nature only if we do it with a pure intent. And she, to me, feels so much, I feel so much of that within her. And if you're a healer, you can invite her to be with you. I can feel like you can invite her to to be with you, and her healing light can come right through you. And now it can come through all of us here into the world as we open fully to our roles in the divine plan, to the divinity of who we are, and to the divine plan for humanity. And just share all of that love with the world. And now I feel that there are many, many masters and angels with us. And sometimes I get to this kind of place and it just feels like this is it. This is who we are. We are divine. And in some ways I think, well, I just want to stay here. But what we're practicing is bringing this divinity fully into form. So leaving this space, finishing the meditation doesn't mean that we're leaving that divinity behind. We're bringing it with us. And that's what I'd like to do now. Again, I experienced such deep gratitude for all of these beings of light and for the quality of divine love that they allow us to experience, that they support us in experiencing and amplifying that within ourselves, to hold, for all of ourselves to be able to hold that love. It takes time. We were gradually moving lighter and lighter into the highest height of our humanity, really. So now we can just start breathing in more active, wake yourself up energy. And there's Archangel Sandalphon, often is known for grounding. You can invite him if you wish to, just to feel yourself grounding to the earth. Breathing in more active energy, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Any responses?
I'm still landing. Wow, beautiful, Jane. Thank you so much. And thank you to all our guides that are with us right now. It was an amazing experience. For me, really fun actually today. Today was really fun. I don't know if I opened that door mentioning about like seeing things like not so serious.
Yes.
And they show up in a very unique way today. It was like a show or like a parade or like something like that. And each of them like appeared, but not like from that place of showing, but was for sharing, you know? So Metatron appeared with like sparkles of light, you know, and like ta-ta, like the show is starting, you know, like ta-ta, and was like sharing, you know, that light and being open. And then when you invite like my Archangel Michael, then I felt that like a little bit of shade, you know, and like a hawk, like the place was getting protected, you know, but it was still open for more people to join, but was like, okay, we are protected. And I was able to sense the colors. And then joyful, before you start saying about the rose petals and everything, I was already seeing them because it was like a show. So she appeared like dropping some petals, you know, and were pink, and I start feeling the smell of the roses. And Lady Nada, then she came with like a beautiful dress, you know, and was like, you know, was like a show, and they were like in the middle, but not with the protagonism from the ego part. Was more like, okay, like this is what you are made of to, was
Right.
inviting me to let all of those things to come out for myself, like from me, and was beautiful
Okay,
because
buddy.
was all the time that part of like the show, like ta-ta, like, and beautiful.
And you're a big rose petal now.
Absolutely. And the message for me today was clear, was just be. That's the message for me today. Just be. And in a
it's
moment,
simple. Yeah.
it's simple, was just be. And there were some tears. I got emotional in a part with joyful and Lady Nara, but was not, I was like excitement. What I felt like was like I was able to feel that energy of them inside me. So that was
That's
that
wonderful.
moment of emotional part. And yeah, was an amazing show. I actually get like really inspired, and was amazing, and really fun today. Today was
good.
for me really fun.
Wonderful. Gretchen, any thoughts?
Yeah, for me, I actually had a very different experience. We're in the middle of a pretty intense thunderstorm here at my house, which is why I think I lost some of the internet. We've had a couple of brownouts today, and when I came back on, I felt like I was in the clouds with all of this electrical lightning activity, and the angels were all around. So it was very powerful, for me in that way, and just really I felt a lot of power. So it just kind of reminded me, this is a current that runs through all of us, that we have power, we have power and possibility.
Right.
So it was very, very meaningful for me.
Wonderful.
I just kind of went with it,
Right. Well, what can you do? That's the thing.
Lightning
you can't
and thunder
resist
outside, and I'm in
right.
lightning and thunder here. So
Why not? So Edna thanked us. I want to thank you and everyone for participating and being part of it. Sharon said, beautiful. Barbara sent us a red rose. She said, roses for you, Loola. And
thank you.
Just thank you all for being with us. Yeah, this has been special. This is the time when we send that light out to the world. We're coming very close to the end of our hour. So I want to invite you, Gretchen, would you like to share how people can find out more about you?
Yes, thank you so much, Jane. People can find me at spiraljourney.net. That's my website. You can all find me on Facebook at Spiral Journey Holistic Life Services. And right now, I'm offering 50% off all of my programs through the end of August. So just stop by and see what I have to offer, and would love to connect with anyone.
Wonderful, thank you. Barbara Clark sent you a lightning bolt.
Thank you.
Loola, would you like to share how people can find out more about you?
First, I want to say thank you to everyone that is joining us today, and to you and Gretchen, and to all the masters and guides. And people can find me in my webpage, that is Loola Mora, LOOLAMORA.com. And in Facebook and Instagram, the same name, Loola Mora. And yeah, that's a great way to connect. I hope I receive messages, and because I love to connect, and in those places you can find who I am, and see if you resonate with me.
Great. Thank you, Loola. And of course, both are on Facebook. You can become friends probably. I wanted to let you know, for us, for Philip and me and Awakenings Institute, you can get our toolbox for light workers and spiritual healers at gettingthrough.org/spiritual. That's gettingthrough.org/spiritual. And we also have a link there to the course that we'll be offering coming up in August on the Akashic Records. So there's some opportunities for you there. You can find out more about the circle also at circleofloveandlight.org. And what else? Oh, how you can support the circle. You can like our page. It's facebook.com/awakenings circle. That's really helpful to us. You can share this video with your friends. You can go there and just click share, and more people send more love and light to more people. And you can also invite your friends to join you in the circle next time. So for the week also, the last thing we do is send all of that love and light that we've collectively gathered, send it all out into the week ahead, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you again for joining us, and thanks to all of those beautiful beings who are supporting us. We'll see you again next time.
Bye.